Pato, all right, one more time. Tell me your last name.
Alatorre.
Alatorre. All right.
Love it.
So
Alatorre.
I'm Mexican, man, but I can't pronounce that. So forgive me.
No worries. It's
All right.
hard for people to roll their R's.
Yeah. So Pato, thank you for coming on the podcast. I've been following you for a minute now on Instagram, watching you run. And then one day, I think one night you were posting a run in Houston, and I was like, what? So I told Mike, I was like, man, we got to get this guy on. This guy's freaking awesome and motivating. So how long, before we started the podcast, you said you just moved here or you lived 10 years somewhere else, right?
Right. I'm originally from Mexico, and that's where I lived. And then I moved to the U.S.
What part of Mexico?
Guadalajara.
Okay. So what made you and your family come over here?
So basically, I had family over here, and my mom wanted us to grow up over here for education, and there's just more opportunity. So I'm forever grateful for my parents to be able to make that big jump.
Yep.
And I don't take that for granted.
That's awesome, man. So did y'all originally move to the Houston area, or was it just Austin? So it's always been Houston.
Always Houston.
You have a lot of family around the area?
Some on my mom's side. On my dad's side, mostly are in Mexico. So
Okay.
I have family both countries, which is a blessing.
Yeah. Do you travel back to Mexico a lot?
Yep. My grandma's out there. Had to go visit her a lot. And I have cousins and a lot of friends.
How long do you make it, or how often do you make it back?
I try to go twice a year, depending on how busy I am.
Yeah.
But I try to make it as much as possible. But it just really depends on. We have COVID coming on, and all sorts of shit. So yeah.
How's the travel over there? We have a friend that's from Mexico, and his travels have been kind of complicated. How's that for you?
Well, since COVID started, I've gone once, and I went just to see my family, run, nothing too crazy. I don't really see a lot of people when I go. Basically, my life is here in Houston.
Yeah.
So nothing crazy. This past time I went pretty normal.
Do you have any crazy stories of being pulled over by any like cartel members or anything? Because my buddy, I don't want to get into specifics, but he's got a pretty good story of being, I guess stopped by the cartel. Do you have any stories like that?
Not personally, but I know a lot of people who do have their own stories, including like my mom has a lot of stories of her friends, stuff like that, but not personally. Nothing crazy.
Man, that's lucky, dude.
That's good. Yeah. I'm glad you don't.
Yeah.
So you, for the folks that don't know, you're an amazing athlete. You run a lot of miles a week. How many miles a week do you probably put on your feet?
I probably average about 85 miles a week. It depends.
Jeez.
Yeah, I've been doing more races lately, which have taken a toll on my body. So I've been lowering the mileage, just try to recover a little bit. But if I'm just training, it's interesting because you want to train and prepare for something. So you want to get ready for these races, but I just love the volume. I get depressed if I'm not getting after it. I get depressed. And lately my body's been pretty jacked up. So I've been lowering the mileage, but I'm trying to hold off on the races. I have a race in October, but until then, I'm trying to get my mileage back up.
So you said you're lowering your mileage. Now, I guess like 3 or 4 weeks ago, you were averaging, it seemed like 130 miles a week. So 85 is you lowering the mileage? Is that?
85 is like, for 2020, my average was 85 miles a week.
Okay.
And that's including everything, all my miles, including races, stuff like that, peak weeks, recovery, all that, 85. But I like to sit around 100. That's kind of like my staple. But I've been doing more races lately, so
85 miles a week. That's insane. So I did for the last week of December, I did 100 miles a week, and in a week I was dead.
It's a grind, man.
Yeah,
it was dead
for 1
man.
week. Yeah, but I guess where are you mentally? Because I personally, I've only trained for like marathons. We did a 50K. We ran from here to Lake Jackson, and just mentally, how do you stay focused running that mileage? How do you prevent being bored from running?
People are gonna think I'm crazy, but that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that moment when you're like, shit, I want to go home. You know, like I want to quit. I don't feel good. This is not fun. That's why I don't listen to music. I've been, when I first started running, I left my phone at home. I just wanted to be in my mind and lock out all noise. And then a lot of people started telling me that they liked the videos I post. So started taking my phone and kind of like talking about what I was thinking during that run. But I lost that that edge that I get from when I'm just zoned in and kind of in my own head. So I get bored. This morning I woke up, didn't want to run, got some miles in, and it's just what I do. It's a routine. It's part of my life, and sometimes it's great. You know, you get the runner's high, but in reality, most days it's just boring. It's a discipline. So
yeah,
no music, no podcast or anything.
No, very very rarely, maybe once a month. Pop in the headphones for a podcast or music, but yeah, that's about it.
Do you find your mind going to the same place?
Yeah, I go dark many times, and lows are low, highs are high, but just the fact that you keep moving is I basically get out there and I go based on how I feel. Wherever my mind wants to take me, I'll just flow with it.
You posted some transformation pics, which is pretty impressive. You weren't always this fit that you look now. So what kind of drove you into this process of running every day? You run 7 days a week, right?
Right.
It's insane, dude. So what was the process like? What triggered your mind to say, I'm going to start running, I'm going to run? Because I think 2020 is what you said, or 2019 is when you decided you were going to run every day the whole year, 365.
Right. So basically, I grew up being an athlete. I played tennis my whole life at a competitive level. I was very, very talented, had potential, but I was weak. I was avoiding. We all have obstacles that come up. So I was young and I didn't know how to deal with them, and I escaped. And my parents did so much for me, and they sacrificed so much for me to have an opportunity. And basically, it just started building up over the years. Like, damn, you wasted this. Could have done that. I was very undisciplined, very impatient, and I just had a bunch of excuses and escapes. So they started building up over the years, and then one day I was at a friend's house, and he said, put on that David Goggins podcast.
Oh, man.
And I was like, fuck, whatever. I don't know who the fuck this guy was. And just listening to his story, I resonated with a bunch of that stuff, what he was saying, what he was talking about. And I was like, I got to make a change, you know. Goggins doesn't tell you what to do, but just through his story, I was seeing a lot of the patterns I was following. And I was never obese. Going back to what you were saying with the transformation, stuff like that, I never got to the point where I was obese.
Right.
But mentally and physically, I was just I was in the wrong place. So decided to go on a run right after that podcast, and just kind of kept going from there.
Damn. So David Goggins is what triggered you to be this runner.
David Goggins.
That's awesome.
That's
man.
a man. Yeah, that's a man.
You're a vegan too, right?
Right.
How long have you been a vegan?
A little bit over 2 years now.
Damn. So so Mike's a vegan.
Nice.
I'm not a vegan and whatsoever. So how do you fuel your body? I guess you get those questions all the time, right? What kind of food do you eat? What does a typical day look like?
Right. So basically every morning I'm very routine. So I follow damn near the same thing every single day. So I don't cancel any foods. I eat fats, carbs, proteins, but basically I like eating oatmeal every single morning. I like getting a lot of fruit and veggies in, and I just throw in a bunch of stuff in the smoothies. I like to keep it simple. If I show you what I ate, it wouldn't be the stuff you see on Instagram, you know? But I like to do a lot of the kind of like the bowl type thing where I'll put just carbs like rice or quinoa, whatever, veggies, put in some tempeh, legumes. You know, I try to mix everything up. I don't count anything or, I like to keep it simple and quick.
Yeah.
Sounds like a whole food approach. What inspired you to go vegan?
So my relationship with food to this day is very, I'm very consistent, but not in the, I'm trying to get it to be in a good way. Because if I'm eating bad, I'm consistently eating bad. And if I'm eating good, so I'm very, just like you see with running, like, oh, this guy runs every day. If I took one day off, that would turn into a month. So going back to your question, what made me want to go vegan?
Yeah.
Was that the question? Yeah. Okay. I watched this documentary on Netflix called What the Health. And I was like, it just opened my mind. I want to change. I need to change. And I started doing more research, and I was like, man, this is what I have to do. And just went cold turkey. I did research for about a week and just went shopping. I made sure I was getting the right foods. I didn't want deficiencies, anything like that, and just went cold turkey.
It's impressive.
We talk about this all the time. I don't know if we're all the same, but we're all or nothing kind of people. And if we open the door, we just get on this path of doing the habits we don't want to do over and over. So it's good for you. It's good to hear that you're so successful, and then you have those problems too, where you want to
every day,
you have to fight it every day.
That little window. I have a family, and I try to eat clean, probably just more low carb than anything else. Vegetables and meat. But having that window, that one day that you said always turns into more. Like last night we had Arby's and I feel like crap today. But tonight is our weekly pizza night. So we have to get pizza too. And then tomorrow I'm going to feel like garbage tomorrow. So it's you have to be able to control it when it's hard to.
That's how we are. You let a little bit of comfort in, you're like, oh, that's nice. Let's have some more of that,
Yeah.
What being vegan and Hispanic, I imagine, is pretty tough, especially when you go home to visit your family. So how's that like?
Not really.
No.
Because you look at any culture, any religion, any ethnicity. Most people, there's a lot of vegetarian in the like I know a lot of Indians who are vegetarian, stuff like that. But a lot of people eat meat, and in Mexico it's a lot about the tacos, the steak, stuff like that. But here it's a lot about burgers and hot dogs, and pretty much wherever you go, there will always be meat consumption. So I went in with an approach of, okay, wherever I go, I know what to eat. I just won't eat meat, and I'm not going to buy dairy. So I would just make it work. Being in Mexico, they don't have so much like pre-made stuff, so you got to go a little bit more whole food.
Yeah.
But it hasn't been a problem.
No.
Hasn't been a problem.
I see that. Like my problems with going to Mexican food restaurants are always the rice has like chicken broth in it, and like the beans have some like bacon grease, and so like not even sometimes the tortillas have some sort of lard in it or something. So it's like hard to get around it sometimes, but sometimes it's nothing you can do if you're like in that situation. So
right. Yeah. Sometimes they mess it up, man. It's like, why are you adding this? Usually on the refried beans, it's like, why would you add that? Yeah. You're messing it up for the vegan. Obviously, many people won't even notice and don't even know it's in there. But it's like I was having pho the other day, and I think the broth they do it with is with like bull, something from a bull. My mom had told me, and I was like, man. And I used to eat meat, so back in the day, it was kind of gross to think about, but I was like, this is what I eat. And now I just put water, and I'm like, dude, it's a seasoning that makes it taste good, So when you get super, super technical like that, yeah, it can get hard. But if you go out to a grocery store, you can easily make it work.
Yeah.
You sound like you have a whole food approach, though, and you're kind of not influenced by the junk food vegan side. That's easy to get involved in. So with that whole food approach, what was the transformation like? For me, I felt like I was able to run a little easier. The mental side of it is a big deal that I don't think a lot of people know. the mental clarity. Explain how your transformation in that way.
Yeah, so I wasn't running when I went vegan. I would go to the gym occasionally, like I said, very inconsistently. But that mental, because physically I felt a lot better, and when I decided to go plant-based, I was going whole food, so I was eating very clean. I was feeling like light and energized, and then it's very easy to get caught in the junk foods. So I mean, like I said, sometimes I'll get a burger, the donuts, and now there's more and more vegan junk. So it's like, damn, I wish it was just whole food. But yeah, that mental part was, for a very long time, I've always seeked attention, and I'm a social guy, so I would want to have feedback from people, and kind of people be like, yeah, do this, do that. Like, you don't want to feel alone. And going vegan was the first step into my life, being the only one, like, in the family, and out of all my friends, I was the only one. And for the first time, I was okay with being alone. And that really taught me a lot outside of just being vegan. It's like, man, you can thrive being alone. And it kind of gave me I felt like I had an edge, in a very selfish way. I was like, everybody's like, no, I can't do that. I like meat too much. And I just felt very good mentally as well. You have that mental clarity, and I feel like I have an edge, So, gives you an edge.
So no, so you don't get any kind of, I guess, shit from your family, or they don't give you a hard time when they're eating carnitas or something, and you're eating just a salad or whatever kind of bowl you're eating. You don't get
right.
They don't give you a hard time about it.
I mean, there's always that. Every single time I'm in a public setting, which now isn't often, if I'm meeting with friends or family, they'll be like, "Oh, I need some spinach for this guy." Yeah. I don't know what to give you, but
someone give this guy some spinach here.
Yeah, that's a typical joke, and I'm used to it. I mean, I have so many people joke around, and you could take it personal, you could take it lightly, whatever, but it sticks with you. And in those dark times, or whenever you're struggling, you're like, you go back to those moments where, like, I'm doing this,
Yeah. Do you dabble in the Beyond Meat and all that stuff too?
Sometimes. Yeah. I try to stay away from the processed stuff. Yeah. Like I said, whole foods, I always feel better. But sometimes it's just easier. Like, it's easy and quick. So if that's the case, that's the case.
I wonder why they're making the Beyond Meat. Is it trying to persuade the meat lovers to go to the vegan side? Do you think that's what it is? It's a little, if to try to bring more vegan or more meat eaters to the vegan family, I guess.
Yeah, I think it's a transition food. I don't know if you're supposed to stay on it, but we're just on the standard American diet for so long, and it's hard to just go straight to vegetables. So it's an alternative. I don't think you're meant to stay on it, but it's like definitely like a dessert kind of thing where you're not supposed to have it all the time.
Right. So because there's a lot of people who are plant-based, but they're not vegan. So when people think of vegan, they think of, animal lover. Like, he's probably like skinny hugging a cow. Like, that's like the typical vegan, like right. The hipster doing yoga.
Yeah, that's
Mike. Hey, yeah, no, and nothing wrong with that at all. But people, so going back to the Beyond Meat, some people are vegan strictly for the animals. So they don't necessarily want to optimize their health. That's not something that concerns them.
Yeah.
So they're like, all right, instead of eating the shit burger, I'm gonna eat the shit vegan burger.
Yeah.
So that plays a role in, like, these foods. You have a lot of vegan cookies. You get all the junk food you have in regulars. Now they're making a lot more vegan version.
Right.
So if I want to have dessert, let's say if I was doing it just for the animal, I could go for the vegan alternative, But if you're going strictly for health purposes, you wouldn't go eat the processed stuff, period.
Exactly.
Even if you're eating meat, you wouldn't go eat burgers and cookies and stuff. You would go to the cleaner sources. So that's just basically what it is. But yeah, it's a good transition food.
Yeah.
Do y'all, as vegan guys in the community, do y'all feel like those the animal lovers, I guess the ones that are trying to serve a good purpose, do you think they kind of hinder the vegan community? Because I feel like going vegan is there's a bigger benefit from a health perspective rather than trying to save an animal, right? So do you think that those animal lovers are kind of hurting the vegan community because they're so out there with marches and, out there on social media? Do you feel like they kind of bash the vegan community a little bit?
I don't think so, because like I said, vegan is a way of living. Plant-based diet is just a diet.
Right.
So there's a lot of activists who do, they go far and beyond, and that serves them a purpose just because they want to protect the animal. They want people to quit buying animal products. So the industry and all those companies have to transition or they'll go out of business. That's basically what a vegan wants to do. They want to save animals. And I don't think it's hurting it. I don't judge. I would, and I don't talk about my diet a lot. But
me neither. Because it's 100. Vegan is 100% saving animals. People use vegan if they don't care about the animals. They use it as a title for plant-based. But vegan, in its essence, is protecting the animals. So that's all it's about. But yeah, I've gotten to the point where I don't want to say it either because it becomes the topic for the rest of the day. And
right.
I don't know if they want to truly know. I want to tell them, but sometimes it's not always in good nature.
Right. So the what a lot of people think is, oh, these people are so extreme. So like me, I started off being plant-based, and then I started seeing a little bit more about the animal, just the industries, like the leather industry, obviously the food industry, and there's so many different other things that animals are used for as products. So basically, I started looking more into that once I was plant-based. So I was like, oh, damn, this is like a plus. And I'm not the person who, I'm not using my platform to promote veganism, but I'm definitely, I don't like animal products anymore.
Right.
Yeah. And like right now I'm wearing a hat with leather right now,
Yeah.
So it's an interesting topic. And I think we just need to have more conversation about it and not put these titles of this guy's extreme, this guy's crazy. Just listen, and then you can have your own take on it.
So you run, how many ultra marathons have you ran?
Races, 3. The distance, I've probably done, I don't know, maybe close to 10.
Wow. Really?
Like 50K, stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
Official races, sorry, I've done 4 official races.
Have you done the Leadville one yet?
Nope.
No.
Definitely want to do it at some point. Right now, I'm training for the Moab in October.
You signed up for that, right?
Right.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Just going for it, huh?
Yeah.
Have you done a 200 or?
Oh, no.
Have you done a 100?
100.
You have done 100, okay.
Yeah. I've done 3 100s, and I'm shooting for my 240. So see how it goes.
That's intense. What made you want to sign up for the 240?
Just I needed something. I need a new challenge. You know? I always have to. When I finish something, I have a lot of. Obviously, you work your ass off to get to a certain goal, but when you get to that finish line, there is no finish line. You're gonna want that next. You're like
the next thing.
Yeah. So, I always have to jump onto the next challenge. So, next Friday I have I'm gonna be doing that Goggins challenge, but I'm gonna be running 144 miles in 48 hours. So it's gonna be. I'm using it. I kind of wanted to up that challenge because I knew I could do the distance, but I wanted something more. So that's gonna be my next challenge next week.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we'll see.
Is that what is that? Is that 4 hours?
Yeah, explain what it is.
How are you altering it?
So you run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So it totals up to 48 miles in 48 hours if you do that challenge.
Okay.
So every 4 hours you run 4 miles. but I'm doing 12 instead of 4. So that's gonna be.
Oh my god! Holy shit!
What? So 12 instead of 4. So the only thing I always wondered about was, are you just sleeping 4 hours, or do you go back to sleep?
You can do whatever you want.
What do you do?
Well, it's the first time I'm doing it. I actually failed. So when you posted the video of the challenge, I just watched the video and I didn't read the caption. And, yeah. So he was talking about the challenge, but he wasn't speaking about the date when it started. So it was March 5th. That's when the challenge officially starts.
Okay.
But I thought when he posted the video, it was on. So I was like, oh shit. Pulled out the notebook and then I started. You basically have to do logistics to figure out the windows and try to be smart about it.
Right.
And I was just gonna do the 4x4x48, which is still a lot of miles. And I was gonna start Saturday night. It was actually the night I like watching UFC. McGregor. It was a McGregor-Poirier fight.
Oh man.
And
Can't miss that.
Yeah, and I did.
Oh,
I did.
Shit.
And I did. Yeah.
That's more commitment than the running.
Right. So I was like, it worked out. I had to start at 11 p.m. that Saturday night in order to be able to make it work with work. So I started. I did a 7-mile run because I need to do at least 7 a day. So for that day it was 7, and then after that it was just gonna be 4. But I did my 7, and my next run was at 3 a.m. and I set my alarm for 3 p.m. So yeah, woke up late and I was like, no, this has to be a nightmare. Like, wake up. Yeah. So I mean, I failed. Didn't set my alarm. So now we're gonna do the 12.
Dude, that's intense. What do you for your ultras and stuff? What do you fuel your body with?
The schedule too. I want to know all. I want to know it all. Let me get my notepad.
Yeah. I like Tailwind.
Okay. Do you get the caffeinated one or non-caffeinated?
I take the naked one that tastes like nothing.
Why?
Because I don't like the flavor ones.
No, okay.
I go naked, and basically, what I like to do is I usually carry my hydration vest, which has 2 half-liter flasks, and I'll do 1 scoop of Tailwind on each for whenever, like during the day. And at night when I'm not burning as many calories, I just like having water in one, Tailwind in the other.
Okay.
But it's just the easiest way for me to get my calories in, because you're drinking them and it tastes like water. So you're getting calories in, you're getting all your nutrition in without you even knowing it. So that's why I like getting the naked.
Do you I guess, what does your food consumption look like?
I eat whatever's at the aid station and whatever I feel like eating. I like the peanut butter and jellies. I'll take the trail mixes, Cliff Bars, bananas, pickles. I like fruit just because it's very easy and it's quick energy. Right. But that's basically my nutrition during. Main source is Tailwind, and then at the aid station I'll down in pickles, bananas, potatoes, whatever I find that I feel like eating, I'll eat it. But I try to stick to the whole foods, just because they're easier to digest.
Oh.
Do you ever find yourself having to deviate from your diet? No?
Nope. I've had a few slip ups. I haven't had meat in a little over 2 years. But I've had like chocolate and stuff like that a few times. Cake, maybe 10 times in 2 years.
He just goes down this huge list: cake, Skittles.
The Rolodex.
Like, hold on, let me get
Like consciously choosing to do it, not by accident.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had about 10 slip ups.
Do you ever get cravings for like a big juicy ribeye or something?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time.
You don't ever just jump in with it?
Nope.
Man, that's good self-discipline.
That goes right into the trail running. It's like it itself is abnormal. Vegan's abnormal. It's just yeah. He's disciplined. It's good.
Yeah, with something I try to stay disciplined.
What's your like what's the average time, I guess? How long did it take you to finish your first ultra and then your most recent ultra?
Man, so I could have a whole podcast just on that first ultra. My first ultra was a 50 miler.
Okay.
The most I had done previous to that was a marathon, so half the distance.
Where was the 50 miler at?
It was in College Station, Texas. So
okay.
Close by. Yeah. Small event. I didn't know it was my first race. I never trained with nutrition or hydration or anything. I just like to be depleted. So I was testing on race day, which that's just how I'm dumb like that. But I had a good race. I started off conservative. I did it 9 hours and 20 minutes for the 50 miler. Then second race was September. Did my first 100 miler, and that was in Florida. I drove myself out there by myself for my first 100. Yeah, I don't like it's a commitment when you have a crew. You have people who just literally sit there and help you emotionally and try to support you with whatever you need. But I don't like causing problems and adding weight to people's shoulders because everybody has shit to do. So I went to Florida by myself, and I did my first 100. At mile almost 40, I bonked, and I had to sit in the car for about 2 hours because my body was shutting down. It was in the heat. It was about 100 degrees that day. Very similar weather to here. And I just started panicking and sat down in the car for a few hours. I was trying to get nutrition and hydration in, but my body wouldn't allow me to. It wasn't reacting to anything, so I couldn't. I was trying to drink, and it would just come back down.
Was it? I mean, did you let yourself get too far? Like you weren't taking it in the beginning?
Right. So basically, I wasn't taking enough fluids. I was sweating a lot. I sweat a lot already, and it was hot and humid. So I was losing a lot of body. I mean, a lot of water weight.
Yeah.
Wasn't taking enough fluids, and I was trying to take all the sodium so I could retain everything, but there was nothing to retain. So basically, my body was just kind of in shock, and got to a point where I could barely walk, and I've never gotten to that point before. So I was like, damn, I don't know what's going to happen. So basically, it was a 2.5 mile loop. I finished that loop, and I was like, dude, that's it. I'm done. I can't. It was like the first time in my life where I was like, I just can't. So I had up to that point, I was at a very good time to make that cutoff. So I was talking to the race director, and he said, I would advise you not to pull out. Just try to wait it out.
Yep.
Went in the car, sat there for a few hours. I couldn't move, and it got to a point where I thought that was it. So I pulled out my phone and I emailed the race director because I couldn't move, and I had no help. I was just stuck in my car, and I asked him for a medic because I thought I was in a bad spot. Couldn't throw up. I didn't piss or shit for.
Do you have rhabdo?
I thought I had rhabdo, but once I pissed, it wasn't clear, but it wasn't near. Well, actually, I took a video.
It was purple, but
yeah. I thought it could have been rhabdo. I just thought my endocrine system was shutting down because nothing was working, and my body was not regulated. It was 100 degrees, and I was shivering because I was cold. So body was all sorts of jacked. But sat there, I relaxed. Temperature started dropping, so just kept going, and I finished in almost 30 hours for my first 100.
Dude.
But I finished, and it was a good accomplishment, good lesson, and that was what I
did. You
for.
Drive back that same day or what?
So
here's the story.
Yeah. I drove there by myself, and I drove there Friday morning, and it was supposed to be an 8 or 9 hour drive, but there was a hurricane in Louisiana that same weekend, so they shut down a bunch of highways. It was Friday in the afternoon, so it took me about 13 hours to get to Florida, and I got there about 9. I had nothing in my stomach. Like, I did the dumbest shit you could ever do before the night before a 100-mile race. So I get to the Airbnb. I still had to get some miles in before I could go to bed. So it was basically had to run, non-negotiable, but I had to pick whether I wanted to sleep early or if I was going to go get food. And thankfully, the lady had some oatmeal, so I just downed some oatmeal and went to bed. But back was sore. I mean, it was just the dumbest shit you could do, but I don't regret it. I was alone, and it was a huge life lesson right there.
What did you, so looking back at that race, what does your gear look like now? Like, what do you run in now versus what you ran in that first 100-mile race?
Talking about nutrition-wise?
Well, just gear, like your shoes.
So for that race, it wasn't a road race, but I wouldn't call it a trail race. It had very little elevation, not technical. Pretty much the best intro for a 100-miler for anybody. It was
Besides the heat,
right? But it was a 2.5-mile loop, not technical. 8 stations there. You have a lot of support. So, I was running in some Under Armour shoes that I barely ran in, but I wanted to wear them for the race because they were cool. For my other trail races, I just wear another Under Armour off-road shoe.
Yeah, you wear Hokas. You're wearing Hokas right now. Do you run in Hokas?
Yeah, whatever's on sale, I'll buy. I've never bought the same shoe. That's why a lot of people ask me about my gear, and I don't recommend it. I'm no expert, and I'm just gonna say I'm buying shoes on sale because that's all I can afford. Yeah. Races are expensive. I go through a lot of shoes, so I just buy whatever I can get my hands on.
Surprised you hadn't got some ultras yet.
Yeah,
that's the hot shoe right now, the zero drop.
I have 2 pair of the ultras. Good shoe. I like the zero drop. But I don't promote anything really. Yeah. I like getting my feet used to whatever. I tried a lot of brands, but ultras are good. Yeah, they're very popular.
Where do you go shoe shopping at?
I used to go to this place. It's called Good Times Running Company. Okay. It's locally owned, so I like that. But basically, I just go to sometimes Sun and Ski or wherever. I'll try a pair of shoes on. Yeah, they're on sale and they feel good. I'll buy them. Yeah, if I need them, obviously.
Have you ever thought about doing the barefoot deal?
Oh man, not to this point. Right now, not interested. But I know a lot of people. I mean, it's your natural foot strike, I guess. And Dobbs, David Goggins' friend, he actually switched to the barefoot because his feet would get so swollen that it wouldn't fit in the shoe. So he started going barefoot, and I mean, he busted out 200 miles on the road with a barefoot. So, yeah. But no, not for me as of right now, at least.
There's some impressive stories. A lot of people get inspired to run ultras because of a book called Born to Run. Have you ever listened or read that book?
I think I've heard about the book, but no, I haven't.
You want some inspiration? It's not just for barefoot running, but there's a tribe in Mexico.
Oh yeah,
the Copper Canyons, and it's have
savages,
you heard about it?
Man, savages.
You've heard about it?
Running in dresses.
Exactly, that's the book. So
yeah.
You've heard about them?
Yeah, of course. The Tarahumaras.
Yep. Yeah. I wish I could say that because I was going to.
He's like, and he dresses it. That's him.
I love that, man, because it's like it brings you back to a very primitive way of living. Just you don't have resources, like that's what we do. You have to do it. So yeah, they would walk 3 hours just to be able to buy some groceries at the market and back, like little kids in their dresses. They're called huaraches, the leather, and they're not even like the barefoot shoes, because the barefoot shoes are engineered to be better, you know?
Yeah.
These are just straight up leather, like
sandals, right? I mean,
yeah, they're sandals. They cut the bottom of a tire. It's just literally rubber, and it's just simple as it gets. And don't ask them about nutrition or hydration, because they're just
they drink corn beer. They do what was that? They almost are like plant based somewhat. They eat beans and rice or whatever they can get their hands on, basically. But I'm surprised you know so much about it. You never heard of the book, I guess. Did you hear all this in Mexico?
I've heard of the book, just haven't read it.
Oh.
But I did watch a documentary on Netflix. I think her her name's Lorena. I forgot her last name, but it's a short documentary, and I mean, it was a way of living. She like her daily tasks were literally like running and walking to school and stuff like that, and it just turned to racing. She started doing races. She started kicking everybody's butt. So you got attention because she was wearing the dress when everybody's wearing all their latest gear and latest shoe with the latest technology, and she just pulled up with the most simple stuff and kicked everybody's ass.
Are you taking anyone to Moab 240 with you, or are you going by yourself?
No, I'm gonna have a crew for that.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure it out. It's a long race, and you don't see your crew up until mile 72 if I'm not mistaken.
Damn.
So yeah, those first 72 are by yourself. Well, there's 8 stations, but you don't get to see your crew. You can't pick up a pacer up to that mile. So it's good to have a crew for those races, from what I've heard. Never done anything close to that, but I want to get better at that because I do things very. I just say fuck it. Like I'm not very technical, and I don't get. I'm just not that guy. I just kind of go. But for these races, I want to do it right because I'm spending a lot of time, a lot of money, and I have to get better.
Yeah. So I've noticed. So your Cam Haynes. You ran with Cam Haynes in Oregon, right?
Yeah.
How was that?
I mean, I look up to the guy. I look up to the man. He's older than my dad, faster than me, and I'm supposed to be. They're like, "Oh, you're in shape. You do that." Nah, this guy's more than double my age, getting after it. He's a savage.
When you ran with him, was he taking it easy, or like how was he? Was he being competitive with you?
He had been off running because he was hunting a lot. Okay. So I guess I'm a vegan, so I don't know much about hunting. But for a hunting season, you stay busy. He was traveling a lot, doing his thing. So he said he was just now getting back into running. Ran that mountain that I live in Houston, man. You know how it is over here. Flat road. That's it.
Yeah.
So it was different for me, and yeah, I mean we had a good run. It was good.
Yeah. Did he kick your ass?
No, I mean we stuck together the whole time. I wasn't pushing it. He wasn't pushing it. We were just kind of chilling. But I wanna get back out there and do a little bit more intense, higher mileage.
Definitely.
A little bit more competitive. See, I love getting the most out of people.
Yep.
I love the videos with him and his boy, and that he posts where he's like, what kind of things does he say to him? Oh, crap.
Well, I'm sure you see him too. Whenever they're running, they'll do like 30 miles, right? And it's funny because Truett will be behind him, and then he's like, "Why are you behind?" And Truett's like walking up. He's like, "My shoe just fell off." He's like, "Your shoe fell off." He's like, but in all reality, he's fucking tired, right? But Truett's like, "Yeah, my shoe they both just flew off." And he's like, "Oh, it's crazy. I don't know what happened."
Yeah, man. That guy's a beast as well.
Oh.
Truett. I'd like to meet him too because he's more of my age, you know.
Yep. How old are you?
I'm 22.
Oh man, you're young.
I like to think so.
Is that vegan?
Yeah. Truett beat David Goggins' pull-up challenge, didn't he?
Right. So Goggins challenged him for his pull-up record because the pull-up record has been broken, but he was just going for the Goggins record.
Okay.
He wasn't going for the world record, I guess.
Okay, so someone has already beat Goggins'
Yeah, a few
record.
people have broken his record, but
damn,
Goggins challenged him, so he was just going for that number, which was 4,050 or something.
I don't know, man. It's more than I could even think of doing.
It's tough, man. Pull-ups are no joke.
Yeah, we joined this little gym, Grit Fitness. I don't know if it's a gym, but it's like it's
an obstacle course racing, like preparation gym. I don't know if there's a lot of them around, but they like prep you for like Spartans and things like that. It's a little different. I'm sure you know what that is. It's different from ultras, but everybody that goes does ultras, so it's like something to keep you occupied.
There are a bunch of animals in there. Yeah. So we started on ab day, and we did ab day, and it's just a bunch of core work. Like you working for 60 seconds, and then you're braking. They say break 20 seconds, but it's really like 50. No, they say it's braking for 30 seconds, but you're really braking for 15 seconds.
You just blink your eyes and then you're in the
like that's the fastest 30 seconds I've ever experienced in my life. So you start off, we started on Tuesday, which was ab day, and then Wednesday was lower body. We're going to go back for Monday for upper body, but they end all their workouts in hanging, where you just hang for like 3 minutes.
Oh, the dead hang?
Yeah, the dead hang. So you hang for 3 minutes, and then if you drop, you either got to do a wall sit or a plank. But it's doing the dead hang, man. I was like, damn, I need to get back into pull-ups because I'm a little bitch right now.
That bar is no joke, man. That bar does not lie.
It works, man. Do you run in the Cam Hanes shoes too? Have you tried those?
Yeah, so that trail shoe, his trail shoe is the one I ran the last 200-mile races I did in the shoe.
Oh.
My first 100 I did in a pair that he had sent me out, but it was a road shoe.
Oh, so he does have a road shoe?
It's not his, but
okay.
He sponsored, and he sent it over. It was a good shoe. So I wanted to run that race in that shoe.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a big idol of mine, dude. I hunt too. I don't know how I came across. I think Mike shared me his Instagram, but he's always
Rogan.
What's that?
Rogan. Everything stems from Rogan.
Everything comes from Rogan.
The man.
Yeah. So I guess it was Rogan, huh?
Yeah.
But I love watching his videos where he's running just all the time, talking shit. And it like motivates. If I didn't run that day and I see that video, I'm like, fuck.
Makes you feel like a little bitch. Yeah, I get that.
What about Goggins videos? You like Goggins videos, I imagine?
Yeah, I mean, anything Goggins, I'm for it.
No.
I love everything he does. And I like what he's doing for other people. I mean, he's changed. There's so many people out there that we don't know about that he's probably transformed, you know?
Huh.
So I look up to Goggins. I found Cam through Goggins on YouTube. I watched that video of them working out.
Yeah.
And
I love that video.
Who's this guy? I'm on Instagram, and I was like, holy shit. So I found out about Cam through Goggins.
Oh, that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
In times where you get unmotivated, do you just go watch one of his videos?
Not really. It's funny because you bring that up, and I literally re-listened to Goggins' podcast on Rogan last night.
I'm segueing because this guy's like a motivational video kind of guy, and he listens to.
I listen to everybody.
What is that one scene with Cam and Goggins?
Oh yeah, I know you know what it is. Where he's talking about running. They ran. That was a full day of like activity, right? They ran 30 miles, they worked out, they bow hunted. So Cameron's on the Joe Rogan podcast, and he's telling them, and then he's like, they started running the 30 miles or 35 miles, whatever it was, and Goggins started having trouble with his shoe. Yeah. So it was like mile 10. So then Cameron just kept on running, and then David Goggins just like caught up to him and passed him, right? And then he got up to the top of I guess it was the mountain that y'all ran on together. Right. And there was a cameraman, and I always say this part whenever we're running,
whenever we're hurting, and he'll just start in the same voice, and I'm like, oh my gosh, shut up.
He's like, so how did Goggins look? And he's like, well, he had his shirt off. You know that part where he's like, he had his shirt off, and he was screaming, "They don't know me, son." And he's like, who is he talking to? And he's like, there's nobody up here.
Nobody. You were talking to the demons.
Yeah, dude. That's like my favorite. I'll watch that, or I'll listen to that. There's like a little clip on YouTube, like a 10-minute clip. I'll watch that like over and over again.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I don't really watch the motivational videos that are made to motivate you. I just listen to them, and to me, that's like a motivational video. But I used to watch a lot of those like motivational with the background music, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they're good. A lot of people draw inspiration from it, but for me, it was like if I'm feeling like shit, I'll probably go out and sprint for 20 seconds, be like, just let all my anger out. But that made it didn't solve anything. It was just like surface level, like I'm gonna get my anger out. But in order to fix like the years and pretty much all the patterns and things I used to do require more than 5-minute max out burpees. It has to be long pain where you want to quit, and you just can't. You just can't. That's kind of what I needed. But I know a lot of people do like that stuff, but I don't like that motivational stuff because it will only give you so much. It might give you like a spark, but to keep it sustainable, it's getting up every day, not wanting to do it.
Yep. That's what Goggins says. You don't listen to his headphones. He wants to be where he's going to be all the time. That stuff's not going to be around. We didn't get into it. I was curious. You went straight and you're in the right sport if that's what you like. Yeah. But how'd you do in the in the marathon world? Did you have good times?
What marathon?
You ran a marathon before you ran the 50, right?
Oh, like by myself.
Yeah. I
didn't run a race, if that's what you were asking. But I did the distance, and man, I'm slow. I think I've done 3 or 4 marathons, and my best time is 3:40.
That's slow.
That's really fast.
Well, some people might think, they're like, oh, this guy runs all this, he must be really fast, and I'm not. But I do want to do a marathon. I want to break 3 hours. I think I could do it now, I think I could do it now, but I haven't done a marathon race, which is very different. So race day and training is completely different.
Yeah, you post your times because you typically run twice a day. You run I guess morning and evening. I sound like a stalker, right?
Well, we did our research on you. I had to have them send the profile, and a lot of times we'll just look at Instagram or Facebook and get some.
But you'll run 9 miles in 7:10, or I think you got some 6s in there too. So you're pretty quick, man.
Sometimes if I'm feeling it, I'm gonna go for it. But I'll just pace doesn't really matter to me, especially for what I do as of right now. Maybe if I sign up for a marathon, I might do some speed training. It's just something I'm not really interested in right now.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Pato, we're nearing the hour, man. So, how can people follow you and get a hold of you? And
I'm at Pato Alatorre on Instagram, and I don't have Twitter. Just Instagram. You can find me on there. I try to stay active, but I also try to have my personal space.
Awesome, man. We're gonna Mike and I need to get together with you and go do a run in Houston or Buffalo Bayou Park or one of those parks, man. We'll try to keep up with you.
Next weekend I'll be running a lot, so if you want to catch some miles, let me know.
All right, sounds good. I appreciate it, Pato.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me.
Bye.